Hello everyone, welcome back to the Python class. This is week 3 and I think you have a nice weekend and also you have completed your lab 2 assignment and submitted to Canvas. Now, this week we will talk about something very interesting. Now let me go back to our desktop, and in case you need, this is the tutorial document that we will be talking about, this IS2240 Lab 3. Now I have done some updates, so just in case you have downloaded maybe 1 or 2 hours ago, I will recommend you to download it once again. I have done some update. And also we will once again have a class exercise, and also we will have a weekly assignment for you, which I will cover it very soon. Now, before I move on to talk about lab 3, before I move on to talk about lab 3, so most of you are information system student, and as an information student you need to have some sense related to what is happening related to the IT industry. So we have 2 news very recently. The first one is, in case you are into gaming, this company made a lot of 3D display card, and finally they have announced that they will acquire this arm. Okay, they will acquire arm from SoftBank. Well, this arm is actually the company who designed the architecture of a modern cell phone processor. So this is a 3D display card company. This is a mobile processor designing company, architecture company, even so whatever cell phone that you are using, no matter it's iPhone or coming up Max, or in case you are using Android, most of the processors are actually based on this ARM architecture. So this is one of the big news, and another big news is I think you know that we will have some kind of new announcement somewhere here. So I am looking forward to what is going to announce, hopefully on Wednesday. And in fact, I have in advance sold my Apple Watch, traded back to Apple. Looking forward to get a new one after the announcement. Okay, so as an IS student, try to develop this type of sense about what the industry is happening and accordingly make decisions. So you know that which company to join, which company to invest, or which company you think that doesn't have a future. Okay, now today's tutorial I will talk about several things, so let us jump back to this tutorial. First, as usual, we will do some kind of recap of what we have covered in the previous tutorial. So the structure of this lab is like that. First of all, we talk about something that we have covered in the previous lab. So I think in your weekly assignment, you have already acquired this knowledge. So you know how to read user input, and then you know how to convert it into numeric value. You know how to perform some kind of simple arithmetic and calculations using Python, and also some kind of basic exception handling. Your program is supposed to, well, to stop or jump to another part in case the user is typing in some English alphabet and you try to convert it into an integer or float. Now here I have some extra things that I would like to clarify, but let's talk about your assignment first. So this is your week 2 assignment. Now there are several things that I would like to specifically talk about before we move on to talk about string manipulation for lab 3. Now this is the suggested solution. Now on Canvas every week after your submission of the classwork and the assignment, so Classwork will be announced at the lecture. So this suggested solution will automatically available, will scheduled to be available on Thursday 3 o'clock at the time when you have lecture. And also this one is scheduled on Monday, so it's will be available today. So the deadline is Sunday, and this one will be available on Monday. And just in case you would like to look at my suggested solution, you are free. Well, feel free to do so. Feel free to download it. Feel free to study what have I written. Now, in the previous week, we have a very interesting assignment for you. Is ask you to calculate the average price, the price per square inch for a pizza. Now, this is the interface, or this is the result that you're supposed to do. Now, let us look at the codes. There are several things that I would like to clarify or talk about. Now, there are several things you need to do. For example, you need to read the price from the user input. You could directly convert it into a float value. The same for this inch. And in the previous tutorial, we have a very good laugh because most of the university students already forgot that the pizza specified by those restaurants is in fact the diameter. And a lot of students had already forgot primary or secondary school mathematics, and they use this diameter directly for calculation, which is wrong. So you need to change the user input into radius in order to calculate the area of a circle. And then you divide it by the price. Okay, you divide it by the price. So it is the price divided by the area of the circle, and then you're supposed to get something like price per price per area, something like that. Price per square inch. You round it off to 2 decimal places, and then you display it. Now, as this conversion and this conversion may have some issue related to some kind of value error, error related to this, may have some problem related to the user input. So it has the possibility that this value error will occur. That's why we will try to use this try except sentence. We will use try except, and then we put all these conversion and these calculation, because without reading the correct user input, you could not continue to perform this calculation and then display output. That's why this group will be grouped, will be put inside this try area. And just in case there is something wrong, Python will jump automatically to this part. And then finally, this is only for cosmetic purpose. Okay, this is to display, because sometimes when I do some kind of testing, if I double click on it directly, okay, so once the output is being displayed, that it will be the program will end automatically, so I cannot read the output. So this is the way I design those programs. So in case you would like to understand more, feel free to download the suggested solution, which I have 2 examples available for you. So for those who would like to challenge themselves, so this is actually a more advanced version, which you could actually complete this program with much fewer lines of code, but it is totally depends. Okay, so both versions are okay. Now we are from the Department of Information System. We are not from computer science. Now for computer science and engineer, they have one more layer of additional concern, is the processing efficiency. Now, I think my expectation to information system student is like, you know how it works, and you are capable to make it to make a functional version of the program. Then this is good enough. in case you would like to continue to challenge yourself and think like a computer science student. Now, computer science student, they talk about processing efficiency. So I think later on when we talk about more complicated loops and condition, I will briefly talk about what is the concern. But for computer science student, they will have an additional layer of concern, is the processing efficiency, the processing speed. Okay, the processing speed of the computer, which I think for information system student, this is not your primary concern. Okay, this is not your primary concern, but I have an advanced version here in Canvas. In case you are also interested, you could always feel free to look at what is happening. Now, I think TJ also talked about something in the lecture, which instead of you type pi, instead of typing pi by yourself, you could use the library, you could use the math library, and you could use the something provided by Python from the library. It is about the pi constant, which I think TJ already talked about this in the lecture as well. So I will not cover this one once again. Now, but I would like to have some clarification. Is like in the previous lab, I think I have covered something very conceptually wrong. Is in your lecture slide here, I think there should be a slide before talking about string. There should be something related to the conversion. Oh, where is it? Let me check, so please wait. I think I found it somewhere. I think it is at the end, something. Oh yeah, here. Okay, converting string to integer. Now this is something that I think I haven't clarified it very clearly in my previous tutorial. So this is string, this is an integer, this is the method which convert this string into integer. Now pay special attention here. If you convert something like this, let's say a string containing one single letter or one single number which is an integer, you could successfully convert it into an integer. Now here, in case you have 3.0 and then you want to convert it into integer, then there will be an value error. There will be a value error exception, which tells you that 3.0 cannot be converted into integer. Now, but in case you would like to, you don't put it in this string. You just type 3.0 here. Imagine that this is a float variable. You could convert it into an integer. So string cannot be converted directly to integer if the string is containing a dot something, a decimal number cannot be converted into integer directly if it is contained in the string. So if you need to do it, you need to do it like this. You have a string with a numeric value. You need to first convert it into float and then convert it into an integer. So this is something that I would like to clarify related to the previous tutorial. Okay. So this is some of the things, some of the important points that I would like to point out for the previous assignment. Okay, for the assignment, I converted the price and inch input instead of float. It is okay. Okay, sure, no problem at all. Okay, no problem at all. If you have converted the price and integer, if you converted the price and also the inch into integer, and then afterwards you perform the calculation, that is that is no problem at all. But remember, this division symbol here and this division symbol here, as we have mentioned in the previous lab, so whenever you use this type of division, the output is always float. Okay, the output is always float. So no matter, so even if the you convert this price input into integer, and then this inch input into this into an integer. The result from this statement will always have a float output. And also this one, because there is a division symbol here, this one is always a float output. So this is something that you need to pay special attention. Okay, and I think in your lecture also mentioned that we have an integer division, which is 2 slashes. Okay, now, so I will close this one, and we will move on to talk about something related to our tutorial 3. Okay, now, in the previous tutorial, we have talked about joining two strings together. So in case you cannot remember, in our first tutorial, we try to join hello and then your name. And also in the previous tutorial, the exercise that you have, we have also tried to join this string and then convert this flow into a string and then join it together. So joining two strings we have already covered, and I think you already have some idea about what are we talking about. Now this week we will talk about some more advanced technique related to string manipulation. Now this is lab 3, and a lot of you will start to have some confusion. Why are we learning all these? Why are we learning all these? Why are we learning these very simple thing related to programming? Now this is something that I would like to show you. This is something also related to another course that I am teaching related to digital game marketing. It is like some kind of early games, some kind of very early games. Now these are the games from the 1970s, when, well, at the beginning stage of at the infant stage of computer game. And there is a type of computer game which is called text-based adventures. So we have some modern interpretation of these is like this. And you will see there are, well, they have this type of graphics, but this type of graphics is actually actually made with some kind of characters, some kind of special symbols that you could type on a keyboard. Now let me click on this trailer and we can watch this trailer together, so you will have some feeling about some kind of very old school game which is called text-based adventures. Okay, so let's have a look. Now it looks very simple, but there are some people who recorded some kind of gameplay process, and we can watch a little bit. Okay, we can watch a very short section related to it.
Potato mashing, communing, and large bears. Alright. So I have a choice on what kind of druid I want to be. I can harness my inner beast. I can survive the toughest of fights. When my ultimate ability is charged, I can regenerate some of my health per turn.
Okay, so the idea here is, instead of beautiful graphics that you can see in modern computer games, actually games in the ancient days, in some kind of very early text-based adventure, it actually used text to describe what is happening, and you need to make a decision accordingly. Here, just like, okay, you can make a choice. If you type 1 here, it means yes. If you type 2 here, it means no. And then of course there are some other things, so you can make a choice. You could be a human, you could be, I don't know how to pronounce these, but there comes some kind of different effect related to your choices. And of course there are some kind of other display just like here. Now you can see that there should be some kind of I think it is some kind of monster, or this is some kind of area that you have reached. So this quest is reach gate 16. Now you have reached gate 16. Now you have other choices in the menu that what you like to do with your character. So you have the HP, you have attack, you have this magic point, something like that. So what you are learning here is relevant. So in case you would like to design some games, so start with this type of fundamentals. You know how to manipulate string, and you know how to do some kind of calculation. Okay, so in this tutorial we'll cover something more in addition to joining two strings together. And there are a lot of ways that you can manipulate string in Python. Now first of all, I would like to talk about some very basic things. Now the program that you have been doing so far usually related to one line of output, and then you have another line of output which is in another statement. Now in fact, Python allows you to have multiple lines of output, so have multiple lines of output at the same time. So in case so let me start Python. Look for, where's P? Okay, here. Okay, let me open idle, and then I will create a new file here. Okay, so it's always nice to have some kind of comment. Now here I have an example here which will tells you, in case you would like to display multiple lines in Python, what you could do. Now in Python, in case you would like to display multiple lines, you could, there are two methods. The first thing that you could do is that you could use free quotes here, free quotes to how to say, to bracket the lines, the multiple lines that you would like to display to the user. Let's say for example here you have free quotes here, you have free quotes here, and then I will try to save it to my desktop for demonstration. Okay, and then let's run it. Now here you will see that there are three lines being displayed corresponding to the codes that you have entered. So I'm not sure if you are as old as me. I'm not sure if you have heard about Old MacDonald had a farm. Okay, now so you know that I'm a very old person. Now, an alternative approach to displaying a string in Python is, in fact, Python accepts both double quote and single quote, So, in order to how to say, to show that this is a string, you could use double quote. You could also use single quote here. So, alternatively, you can have free quotes and free quotes here. Now remember, you cannot mix. Okay, you cannot mix these. You cannot use single quote here and double quote here. So here, nothing special. Both are the same. Okay, both are the same. So both double quote and single quote are the same, but remember, don't mix it. Don't mix it. Okay, so if you start with single quote, you need to end with single quote. If you start with double quote, you need to end with double quote. So alternatively, this will produce the same result. Okay, this will produce the same result. So both are accepted. Both double quote and single quote are accepted. Now, if you have multiple lines that are you put multiple lines inside this three double quotes here, then Python will reflect this line break. Python will reflect this line break in the output. Okay, so this is very simple. I don't need to further elaborate what is happening. So we can continue to the next part, which is escape character. Now, escape character is better when typing. It is. Now, I will show you. Okay, I will show you. I will show you this. So, no problem. I will show you very soon when I talk about escape character. Now here, I have escape characters here. So escape characters is like you would like to display some of the special symbol available on your keyboard, but sometimes it is not, how to say, if you type this special character in a string directly, it will not be accepted. Let's say, for example, if I would like to display some single quote and double quote in my string output, what should I do? I need to use this type of escape character. So let me give you an demonstration here. This is something that we are going to do in this tutorial. Okay, so this program asks me to enter a first name. So my first name is Joseph. Ask me a last name. My last name is Kong. And then, hi, Joseph Kong. All I have for you is a word, tenant. Okay, so look at these special characters here. You have double quote. You have this, no, colon doesn't count, but look at this double quote here. So if I want to display double quote, I need to use escape character in my string. Now, in case you are living in a cave with no internet connection or without accessing to the world, I think, well, this is actually some kind of movie that I want to watch as well. So I designed this class exercise based on this trailer. So
all I have for you is a word. Tenant. It'll open.
okay, so I'm not sure if I have the time to go and watch this movie, but a lot of people say that this is a really nice movie that strongly recommend me to go and watch this movie. Now, so this is this double quote here. This is this double quote here, and this program also convert your surname into upper letter. Okay, this program also convert your surname into upper letter, and then this program will join all these together. So we are going to complete this exercise together. Now let me show you how to use escape character. Now, in case you would like to display something like a single apostrophe or double apostrophe, something like that, what should you do? Now let me go back to, where is it? Here. Okay, lab 3 demo here. Now, usually Python do not allow you to output special character if you are not using escape character. Let's say something like that. Okay, I'm not sure if this will run correctly, but there is a better way to type this. It's like you need to have a backslash here to indicate that I would like to display a special character, a single quote here. Now, if I save it and if I run it, it will show something like this. And say, for example, if I would like to display a double quote here, you could. Now, of course, if you type it this way, Python will not recognize this character if you would like to display two double quote in a string. So here you need to also add a backslash here to indicate that this one and this one are special character. So let me run it and then give you a preview. So this character and this character. Now there are a lot of choices related to there are a lot of choices for escape characters. Now in our previous example, this old McDonald had a farm, so you could separate the output in these multiple lines. You could display the output in these multiple lines. In fact, you could achieve the same effect by using escape character. In the previous tutorial, I have showed you in some of my example, I have this escape character. This escape character is like a new line. Say for example here, if I would like to break this output, I would like to display this in another line. So I would like to display tenant here. What you need to do here is you type an escape character at this position. What is new line? So it's backslash n. So it's backslash n here, and then we could have a look of what will be the effect here. So if I run it, it will become something like this. Now as I have a space at this location, so it's line space space special character double quote tenant special character double quote, and then the string ends. So it's something like that. The word is, and then there will be a line break here. There will be a space here because you intentionally leave a space at this location. And then you have special character double quote, which is this one. So, and then another special character here, this one, and then the strings ends. Now let me show you the tab here as well. So in case you would like to have this one at different position, you could use the tab as well. So where is it? So many windows on my computer. Okay, so here, maybe instead of using this space, I can have a tab here. So it is special character tab here, and let us look at the new output. So here, and then this one, there is a tab tenant. Okay, now I think in the
All I have for you is a word.
no, not this one, this one.
Oh.
Okay, so you can see that. Okay,
Well, I'll take it.
okay, so you can see is when you design some of the user interface, sometimes it is like here, you intentionally leave some space. It could be two space, it could be a tab. So it depends on your design. And also here, just like here, when this user type E, he need to type enter in order to select this option. So you could design a game accordingly, just like this. You could design a game accordingly, just like this. Now, okay, where were we? Okay, here. So these are some of the special characters that you could use. There is a lot of special characters. These are some kind of escape characters that you could use to change the user output, to change the string and display something that you like. I think here there will be some kind of special character, maybe this type of bracket and square bracket. I think there will be some kind of special character for this. Okay, now, so these are something that I would like to mention it to you related to escape character. Some additional special character that you could use in the string. Now there are some additional methods that you could use related to string manipulation. Now sometimes when you go to some online store, when you access some kind of website, let's say here, okay, something like this here. Say for example, if I would like to add a new module, and then sometimes the user interface will ask me to type in something. Okay, something like this. But sometimes without the user knowing, maybe this person is copy and pasting this input from somewhere and then there will be 2 space left after the final character, after the last character. Now, there is an automatic function in a lot of programming language that can help you to remove these meaningless spaces that is before and behind a string. Just like the example that we have here. Our example is like hello world, but look at this hello world. We have a space here, we have a space here. Now there is a method. There is a method related to that is given to all the string variable, is that you could use this strip method in order to remove any white spaces at the beginning or the end. So how to use it? Now this is a little bit special, because this design, the way to type this statement is something related to object-oriented programming, which I think we will cover this at the end of this semester. I think around week 10, week 11, we will briefly talk about what is object-oriented programming, what is object-oriented concepts. Now, but at this stage, you can just remember the syntax. You can remember this programming syntax, this programming format, in order to use this function. Now, the first thing that I would like to show you is this one. Okay, let us go back to here, and let me copy this as an example. Okay, now this example is assigning this string into this string variable, this string into this variable, the string example here. Now there is a white space here, and there is a white space here. Now I would like to remove this. Now in case I'm running this program, it will it will print this string directly. So you will see there is a space here, and also there is a space here. Now there is no space here, there's no space here, but there is a space here which you could highlight. So you can see there is a space here, there is a space here. Now there is a function carried by string variable, is that you could use after this string variable name. You can type dot, and then you can type strip. Okay, now if you type strip here, so after type dot and then after type strip here. Anyway, I hope to show you. So you should have a choice here. Now this is strip, and then this strip takes no parameters. This strip takes no parameters. In fact, you could type something in, but I will not cover that. So this one, this is what we call a method. This is what we call a method, the strip method. String variable dot strip, an empty bracket here. It will remove the white space here and out white space here, and then display only the meaningful part of this string. It will become this one. So here you have a white space, here you have a white space, but here you don't have any white space. These two white space will be removed. Now I would like to ask you to pay special attention to this part, is that using this method will not change the content of this string variable. Okay, it do not change the original string. So this one only this one will be printed directly, but in case you would like to print the original one, let's see what is happening here. Now okay, you will see the string, the original string with an empty space here and empty space here will be preserved. It will not change the data. It will not change the data in this variable. Okay, it will not change the data in this variable. So in case you would like to modify, okay, in that case you would like to modify the content in this variable by removing these, you need an additional statement here, just like, okay, string variable equals to string variable dot strip, something like this. Okay, you use this function, and then you could display the new one, something like this. Now here, the string variable is updated by removing the front and the back. Okay, the front space, the back space here, and then it will be assigned once again into itself and then display this variable. So in case you would like to update the string, you need to do it this way. Okay, the previous one, this statement, if you type it like this, it will not update the original content. It will not update the original content of this string variable. The same for other methods here. Say, for example, there are a number of methods that you could use. Let's say lower. Okay, it will change okay, so this will be a good comparison. Okay, okay, now here, if you use the lower function, if you use the lower method, it will change all the characters here, all the characters in the string into small letter. Okay, it will change all the character in the string into small letter. And alternatively, you have upper. Just like here, it will change all the character into upper character. This is useful, just like here. Okay, my name is Joseph, my surname is Kong. Here, the surname will be converted into upper letter. It is using this technique. Okay, it is using this technique. Is changing the output. Okay, changing the output of a string into upper character. So it will become, it will look like this. Now there are other methods here. Let's say this one is replace. It will replace a certain character with another character. Here, let me see the interface here once again. Okay. Now here, it will replace H with K. Okay. Now it will replace H with K. It will replace H with K. And alternatively, let's say I have two O's here and I have three L's here. So maybe I can change L here into something very interesting. So maybe change L to F. Now this is the effect. So all three L's will be changed to F. So whenever there is that particular character, you can change it to something else. And also you have the split, which let's say we have a comma here. Now I can use comma to split these two words. I can use this comma to split these two words. Okay, so it become hello and world. Okay, now this space is preserved. This space is preserved. Hello world. In case you don't want this space, you need to use the split method as well. So you need to use a combination of these. But now this method will return an array or list. Now I think we will cover this concept in next week or week 5, week 6. So it will be in coming weeks. We will talk about array. So you don't need to worry about this expression so far. You don't need to worry about this expression so far. We will talk about this in detail in coming weeks. We will talk about the concept of array and list. And after that, then you can start working on an individual assignment. You can, I will give you a personal project so that you can start to work on it. Now, at this moment, I think you are not still not yet capable enough to do it. But relax, I will not design the personal project very difficult. Okay, I will not design a very difficult personal project for you. So you don't need to worry about it. You just need to know that there is a function that you could split a string with some kind of particular character, okay, and the output will become something like this. It will be hello and then world. Okay, it will be hello and world. Now, the way to interpret this, you don't need to worry about it. We will cover it in 2 to 3 weeks later. Now, there are also a function here which not in this particular style, is to look for whether a particular string is available, in another string. Now, I think in week 1 I have talked about a variable type is called Boolean. Boolean is like a yes no value, yes no true false. Okay, only 2 options, yes no true false. Here, this example will show you something very interesting, is that you could assign, let's say I want to know whether fox is in this string example. So this fox will match this one and the return value will be true, which shows you that fox is in this string. Fox, this expression is in string, in this string. So we could save it and then we could run it and then give you an example, true. So it will tell you that fox is in this one. Now you could of course change it into dog here. It will also tell you it is true. But what if I type something else? What is ABC? So it will be false. Now alternatively, you can also ask if it is not in this string. So fox is in this string, so the return value should be false. So let me give you an example here. So it will be false. Now if I type ABC just like the previous example, what will happen? Because ABC could not be found in this string, the output will become true. Now, this may be a little bit confusing at this moment about this true false thing, this Boolean things. Now, I think in the coming weeks, we will talk about condition. Okay, so these are very fundamental programming concepts. We will talk about condition, we will talk about loops, and then we will talk about array. So these 3 are very fundamental programming concepts which you could use in a lot of structural thinking, and also you could use this type of technique and apply it into other programming languages as well. Okay. Now I think I have talked quite a lot. Okay, and I think it is time for you to enjoy a break, and then after the break we will complete this classwork together. Okay, after this break we will complete this classwork together. Now I think what about we continue at 1 o'clock? We continue at 1 o'clock. We'll have a 10 minutes break. Okay. Okay, so let us move on to talk about our classwork. And in case you are very smart, I think that some of you already privately post some answers to me, which is very good. Now, once again, I will show you very simple classwork. I will show you very simple solution. Okay, I need to align with the progress with student with absolutely no programming knowledge at all, and then start to build up their knowledge in programming. Now, I really appreciate your effort. In fact, I can see that your solution is much more robust than mine, and very good. So I really appreciate all the efforts that you have put into this one, and we will complete. Okay, and we will complete this class exercise together. Yeah, sure. You can use print to show another line. Sure. Because some interpretation may be a little bit different. Okay, some interpretation may be a little bit different. But as long as you are using this special character line break here, then very likely then on the display here it will has a line break. Okay, it has a line break. So now, before I move on to work on this classwork together, I would like to show you this one. Now, this is one of the documentary on Netflix. In case you submitted to Netflix, you can search high score here. Now, this is one of the documentary which I like very much. It is newly released on Netflix. And for the text-based adventure that I have just mentioned at the beginning of this tutorial, in case you are interested to know more about the history of this adventure and role-playing game, you can watch this episode free. So at the beginning, it is text-based. Role-playing game. It is text-based adventure game, and then eventually it evolved to something like Final Fantasy. Okay, so in case you are interested, you can watch this documentary. Now, let us complete this classwork together. Now, I think I have already showed you this trailer. That's why I will not show it to you once again. Now, so let me start a new one, and then we will complete this class exercise together. Lab 3 classwork. So remember to have your name and SID here, please. This is easier for us. So this is easier for us to check what is happening here. Now, to check whether you have submitted your work. Now here, okay, we try to replicate this. Now, let me show you the demo once again. Now, this is what this program is supposed to do. Okay, it will first ask for a first name, which is you can type anything that you like. Now, you can have a last name. You can also type anything that you like. So it will show me some dialogue related to the newly released movie. Okay, so it is, "Hi, Joseph Kong." This one will be highlighted, and then all I have for you is one word, colon, and then now colon, I think it does not require special character. It does not require escape character, but definitely in case you would like to show this double quote here, you need an escape character and tenant, and then full stop here. Okay, so we will work on this together. Now, I think most of you already know how to read user input like this one. Now, I think most of you already know how to read the user input here. So I think I don't need to repeat this once again. So I have a variable called first name. I also have a variable called last name. Now this is some kind of knowledge that I would like to I would like to tell all of you. Now remember, I would like to tell all of you. So what is first name and what is last name? This is totally irrelevant to programming. This is totally irrelevant to programming. Now, first name is your given name. Okay, first name is your given name or your English name. Okay, first name. Last name is your family name or your surname. Okay, so it is Joseph here. It is Kong here. So in case you, in case you visit US or UK, make sure that you have a clear idea what is it about. Now I think some of the university students still confuse what is first name, what is last name. Now remember, this is given name, this is surname, this is family name. Okay, this is your English name, and then this is your surname. Now here you read two inputs. Now you could read inputs directly because inputs return will be a string. Inputs return will be a string. So maybe first name here and here. Oh, now I'm quite a lazy person, so I use copy and paste. Now these two statements will read the user input and then put it into this string here. Now some student, now let me complete the most basic version and then we talk about some advanced techniques. Now the next thing is we try to replicate what is happening here. So I would like to display hi here, and then these two strings join together. This one will change into upper letter and then followed by these. So here of course is print. Now remember to type like a programmer. This is week 3. You should already develop this habit. Whenever you open a bracket, you close a bracket directly. Whenever you type a double quote, you close it directly. Okay, so hi here. Okay, hi here, and then a space, because your input suppose don't have a space. And then you join first name, and then you have a space here, and then you type plus, and then your last name here. Now here your last name I would like to display in capital letter. I would like to display in capital letter. So here, which function should I use? Okay, which method should I use? It should be dot something. Okay, upper, thank you. Something like this. And then plus another statement here. So I will now construct this statement. So I will first start with a comma. So comma do not require a escape character. So it should be start from here to here. So all I have for you is a word colon. Now this double quote here is a little bit tricky. This double quote, in order to display it, you need an escape character. So you see, even typing this, I will use this sort of technique. Is whenever I start with a double quote, I will end in a double quote immediately, and then tenant, and then full stop here. So the most basic version should be like this. Okay, the most basic version should be like this. You read a user input, you display, you read the user input once again, and then you try to display together. So we try to test run it. Sample lab 3 tenant. Okay. So I will try to run it. Let's see what happened. Okay, first name Joseph, last name Kong. Okay, so let's see if it is correct. Hi, Joseph Kong. All I have for you is a word tenant. Okay, it looks right. It looks right. Why do we have 2 slashes. Oh, what do you mean? You mean this one? Oh, what do you mean by 2 slashes? Now, here you mean this one? Okay, so this one actually indicate this is an escape character to display a code here. So we could correspond to the output. We could correspond to the output here. Okay, and then here. Okay, this one means I would like to show a double quote. This one I would like to show a double quote. Now, okay, where were we? Okay, here. Okay, this looks like a so your very simple program is completed. Now this looks the very simple one. Now some student will do different versions of this program. As I have told you, there are so many ways for you to complete the same program. That's why we could do some other things on top of this very basic design. Now, say for example, you could, for cosmetic purpose, you could have a line space here. For cosmetic purpose, you could have a line space here to make it easier for the user to read. Let's say at the beginning, I can have a line break here. Or some student, in case your program do not allow, of course, you could also print an empty line here, so that it will show another extra line for easy reading. Okay, and of course you could use escape character to type it like this. It will produce the same result. Okay, now the next thing that I would like to show you is this input. Now, as I have told you, sometimes the user may have some kind of error, may have some kind of typo input. Oh yes, you could include it. Now, some user may have some kind of by accident they type something wrong. Let's say they put a space before, and then they type their name and then put a space at the end. So you have an extra space, and then the output will be a little bit confusing. So you will include this empty space and empty space here. So some student will use some kind of more advanced technique by using this particular strip function. Let's say here a student could strip the first name, and also a student could strip the last name, something like this. Okay, so here when you type in additional spaces here, it doesn't matter. Okay, so Kong here. So when you type in additional spaces, it doesn't matter. So these are some extra additional work that you could put into this program to make it even better. Okay, so I don't mind which version you submitted to Canvas. That is totally okay, as long as you can show me the most basic thing is that you could read the user input, and then you could display the surname in alphabet and also display some special character. Then this is okay. Now finally, some student like me would like to put this, press enter to end program, something like this, as usual. Or some kind of programmer, they like to end their program using one of the comment to indicate that this is the end. What do you mean? What if I want to accept symbols? I don't know how to do it, sorry. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. Maybe I can investigate, and then I'll give you an answer after that. Now that there are methods, but I think I will show you when we reach the point that I have already covered array, when I cover about loop, when I cover condition. Then I will show you something extra related to these handling. Okay. So let me run this one. So whenever I have some space here, it doesn't matter. Okay. So this is the very simple program that we have completed together, and this is the classwork. So please, once you have completed your classwork, remember to save it, and remember to submit this one to Canvas before the lecture. Now I have already put in Canvas. This is week 3, and this is week 3, and this one. Okay, lab 3 exercise here. So remember to submit this before Thursday 2 o'clock. In fact, you can do it now. Okay. Submit something that you have completed as the class exercise here. Okay, so I will give you 3 minutes to submit it to this class exercise, and then we will move on to the final part of this tutorial. Split and then merge. Well, it could be, but I think I will show you this to you later. So I will wait for 2 minutes, and then we will move on to talk about the final part, and also your weekly assignment. Okay. Okay, so have you submitted your classwork? Now I think I have so many programs running together, so my computer is a little bit slow, and then I think my recording is a little bit lag as well. So maybe I need to end some of my Python's examples here, and it actually eat up quite a lot of memories. So I think it will be a little bit more smooth now. Okay, have you submitted your classwork? It should be very easy. So if you have submitted now, then it will not spend you extra time to complete it in these 2 days, and it will have less confusion which one to submit for class exercise. So I would strongly recommend you to save it and then submit it to Canvas now, and then I will move on to talk about the next part. Okay, so let us move on. Now, there are some additional properties for string. Let's say, for example, in fact, like a lot of popular programming language, a string could also be used like an array. Now, you don't need to worry about this concept at this moment. We will cover array or list this concept in coming up weeks. We will talk about this in detail in coming up weeks. Here I would like to show you some examples about using string like an array. Now what am I talking about? Now let me copy and paste this example and show you what is happening here in Python. Now you don't need to worry about this. So I will just save it on my desktop. Okay, and then I'll run it and I will show you what is happening here. Now, here, I think in your lecture we have already covered something like this one. Now we have hello world in this string, and we use this square bracket. We use this square bracket to indicate the position. Now there are usually two types of brackets being used in the programming language. Say for example, you have this normal round bracket to indicate, sometimes it's like this, an argument, sometimes it's like this, a method, something like this. Now we have this square bracket which usually means another thing. Usually in the programming language, let's say from C family, this this square bracket means a position or an index, means a position or an index. Now what does it mean? Now here, I would like to print out the character. Okay, I would like to print out the character at position 1. Now, the computer world, in the computer world, usually in the computer world, usually position start with 0. Usually this type of index start with 0. So here you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and position 1 is the second one. Position 1 is the second one. So this is 0, this is 1. Now I think in your lecture notes here, it already showed you something like this. Now remember, the first position is always 0. The first position is always 0. So if you want to display 1 here, E will return. Okay, E will return. Now there are a number of different functions, a number of different ways for you to use this index. Let's say, for example, you could slice it. Here, what does it mean? You want from position 2 to this one. Now here I would like you to pay special attention to the ending index, here. So let me run this one to show you what is happening here. Now this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5. Now from 2 to 5, what does it mean? It means this 3. Now it starts with this character. It starts with this position to this -1, which means position 2, 3, and 4 will display to the output. Now 5 will not be displayed. It will show this one to this -1. This one to this -1. So your lecture notes here shows you, if it is 2 to 7, it actually shows 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 7 will not be shown. So it is position n-1. So here, in case you put 7 here, okay, it will show you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But this 7 capital letter W will not be shown. Okay, so this one you need to pay special attention. Now there are other combinations related to this string manipulation. Now for example, you could omit the ending part. It will show you starting from the position 2. Remember, first is 0. First is always 0. So it's 0, 1, 2. So it is here to the end. Okay, if you don't decide the ending part. Alternatively, you could decide the ending part, but not specify the starting position. Okay, not specify the starting position. It will become 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now remember, is this one minus 1, this one minus 1, this one minus 1. So it is from 0 to 7. From 0 to 7, it will display this to this. Okay. Now, and also it accepts some kind of negative indexing. This is very interesting. Now, I never heard about this in other programming language. Maybe this is unique to Python. Say, for example, where? So this is the first time I've heard about it. Maybe this is something new to Python compared to other programming language. I don't know. I don't know. So here we could have -5 to -2. So what will happen here? Okay, it will display these three position. Okay, these three position. So now how to count? How to count? You can refer back to your lecture notes. Say, for example, the rightmost position is -1. The rightmost position is -1. So the counting method is a little bit different. From left to right, starting position is 0. Okay, from left to right, starting position is 0. If you are doing it from right to left, starting position is -1. Starting position is -1. So if you try to type -1, it is always the last one. If you type -5 to -2, it will show these two. Oh, no. It will show this space, this one, and this one. So space EG. Now, remember, it's always this one minus 1, so that this one at this position will not be shown. This one will not be shown. So it is this, this, and this. -5, -4, -3. And this one minus 1. So this one will not be shown. Now, you could have a mix. So you could combine this counting system with this counting system. So it is starting from position 0, which is the leftmost position, to -1, which is the rightmost position minus 1. Remember, the ending position is always -1. So that this is 0 to -2. This one minus 1 is -2. This one to -2. This one to -2. We can repeat this one here at this position. 0 to -1. Okay, so hello world without the exclamation mark. Hello world without the exclamation mark, because the exclamation mark will be omitted. This is at the -1 position, which if you are typing it this way, the last one will not be displayed. It will, remember, is up to this one minus 1. Now, I think I need to clear this concept. I need to deliver this concept very clearly. Now, you may not have any idea about why are we learning this. But in the near future, okay, I think in the coming 2 to 3 weeks, we will talk about loop, we will talk about array, and we will talk about condition. So these three concepts, we will further elaborate what you are learning now. I think at this moment, what you need to do is just remember the position. And when you have a colon here, remember the right side, the ending side is always n-1. Okay, so you don't need to worry about this at this moment. Now, the final function that I would like to show you in this tutorial, it is this len method. Now, sometimes you would like to count the number of characters you have in a particular string. Let's say, for example, I would like to know how many characters is in this string. Now, this is very useful later when we talk about loop and when we talk about array. But let me show you this example now. Here. Okay, it will tell me that this string has 13 characters. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Remember, it is start with 0, so that there is 13 characters here. Okay, it starts with 0, so that there are 13 characters here. So this len method with the string as the argument will tell you how many letters do we have in this particular string. So these are all the things that I would like to deliver related to string manipulation. Now, you may be a little bit confused with these strings are array, but in the coming up weeks, I think in week 4, 5, and 6, we will talk about array. Well, we will spend one lesson talk about array, and you will have very detailed understanding about why are we learning these. Okay, so you don't need to worry too much about this one, but you need to worry about this string length method because it will appear in your weekly assignment. Now, for your weekly assignment, which will deal once again in the coming Sunday, I would like you to do something like this. Now, before I move on to talk about my expectation related to this home assignment, I would like to show you this video clip, which is a very funny comedy show in UK once again. So, in case you have Netflix, you can type IT Cloud here. Now, IT Cloud is a very famous comedy show related to the IT community. So I enjoy watching this very much. And what you are going to watch is this season 4 episode 2. Season 4 episode 2. I will show it to you now. Okay, here. Okay, so this is a funny TV show, and I think this word doesn't exist, but I think they come up with this as a joke. Okay, now it become one of the internet memes. It is like, good morning, there's a nice tenant, bro. Okay, now I would like you to do something like this in this weekly assignment. So let me show you this one. So what is the word? So the word is so just for fun, tenant, bro. Okay, so it will tell me that there are 9 letters. Good morning, there's a nice tenant, bro. Okay, now let me try other words. Let me end this program, and then I will try another word here. So overnumerous. Okay. Okay, 16 characters. Good morning, there's a nice overnumerous. Okay. Okay, you can also try other words which will show you the number of letters and also put it in capital letter at this position, and then there will be some kind of indentation here, which I think we have already covered in the escape character. There is something called a tab. Now here we have this overnumerous. I have this one from the same episode, but later part. Okay, so that's enough jokes for today, and this is what I want to talk about for this week 3 tutorial. Okay, so There are two requirements for you to complete this exercise. I would like you to count the number of letters in this particular word, and also I would like you to format the string output. Let's say this one. No matter how you type it, this will be well shown in upper character. So remember to clean up those spaces just in case you are taking the user input. Remove the spaces in case the user is typing extra spaces by accident. And also you could do some kind of formatting. Just like here, you could have a line break. Here you have Morse here. Good morning. There's a nice tenantebra. Okay, you could have a line break. You could have a tab here, and this one is optional. Okay, so that is all I would like to talk about in this particular tutorial. So remember, on the coming Sunday, so submit this one to Canvas. I have already got this week 3 assignment here, which you could submit your exercise. Is a nice tenantebra. And also now I need some extra time to check your group registration. So I will check those group registration, and after checking it, I will contact individual groups, and also for those who without a group where I am assigning you. So you will be contacted accordingly. So in case you haven't received anything from me, don't worry. Maybe you have a nice grouping. Maybe I don't have an extra member for you, so you don't need to worry about it if you don't receive anything. Okay, if you have received something from me, just like, okay, this is the contact information for your group mates, then please do so. Please contact them, and I will actually put you into the groups later under people. So please give me some extra time to work on this group project. I will assign you all into your corresponding group very soon. So by this Sunday, please complete your home assignment. It's a nice tenantebra, and submit it to the assignment. And also by next Monday, the suggested solution will appear here. Okay, by next Monday, the suggested solution will appear here. So this week we have given you some very funny video. I have shown you some investment mindset related to an IT person. Now we have cover some additional string manipulation and tell you why we are doing this. Maybe in the future you could design a text-based adventures just like one in the 70s and 80s. Now we have talked about something related to string, escape character, how to strip it, how to change it into upper, lower character. We replace it, we split it, we check whether a string is in another string. Now in case you are late to the class and you missed the earlier part of this tutorial, remember to complete your classwork as well and submit it before the lecture. In case you have already submitted with the several minutes that I have given to you, then it is done. Okay, then it is done. Thank you very much. Now we have covered something related to array as well, but it may be a little bit confusing. We will cover this in detail in the coming up weeks, in week 4, week 5, and week 6. And finally, okay, remember by Sunday, submit your work to Canvas. Okay, now that is all I need to cover in this tutorial 3. So do you have any questions? If you don't have any questions, I will end this tutorial here. Okay, so thank you very much for coming today. Work hard on this weekly assignment. Okay, work hard on this weekly assignment. So thank you very much for coming today, and I will put this video once again after Wednesday. It will appear on my YouTube channel. Okay, so thank you very much for coming today, and bye bye.